Hello, everybody. This is a video about the very new King Crimson album that came out in 1969 called The Court of the Crimson King. Who are you?
Who are you?
How'd you get in my room?
What are you doing on my bed? What are you doing in my room? Whose room is this? This album revolutionized prog rock for the entirety of the rock scene. Bands like Yes and, of course, Pink Floyd would only live up to what this album has set as an example. It's good.
It is. I mean, it's an album. It's a classic album. You know, this is probably like your uncle's and your grandfather's favorite album. It's good. I mean, it's got a lot of good qualities to it. There is a lot of stuff you could say is peak about it, and it's very revolutionary. It sounds more modern than you'd think for an album in 1969. But that doesn't mean it's without flaws, you know. This first song here, called 21st Century Schizoid Man, I mean, it's an extremely good song. It's maybe my favorite song on the album, personally. But I don't think the whole song is needed, the whole 7 minutes, because it kind of devolves into, like, mush after a while. But the first part, the classic part everybody knows, that was actually sampled by Kanye in the song Power, is a really good song. It's a very good song. It's got everything you'd want. It kind of introduces you to this world that the album tries to build, and I think it does that very well.
This song, 21st Century Schizoid Man, was the reason my mom divorced my dad.
The last part of this song that I think is when you get into the song called Mirrors is actually shows off a lot of the jazz influence that was in the birth of prog rock in the early days. That's shown a lot more with the weird drumming that's not really in tune with anything. So, but the first part of the song is like laying the foundations for what would be like hard rock and all those kind of things that would be replicated by bands like Tool and stuff like that.
It really was a revolutionary song, and it really punches you into the mood that the rest of the album would hold, except for one song.
I'm looking at you, Moonchild. The second song, I Talk to the Wind, or the second official song on Spotify. We're like 3 songs in already, based on the album name. But the third song, I Talk to the Wind, is much slower and somber. Sounds like real early Pink Floyd or, you know, some Velvet Underground stuff. And it's not as conceptual as the first song with, you know, wizards and kings and stuff. But it still sounds really good. It's smoother. Got more flute in there, courtesy of Andre 3000.
Yeah, he could never really make a song like this as good on his own without King Crimson. And honestly, it has a lot of Beatles influence. It sounds like that one Beatles song. Don't ask me which one it is. I'm not going to tell you. And the slower jazzy feel is very nice. It really adds another layer to the album. Right, next song, jackass.
Oh. So then we've got this little jam here called Epitaph. I don't know what that word actually means. I forgot. But
it's like tune. It's like a
tune, like a riff.
It's the epitaph is the thing that's on your grave. It's like the quote.
Or that's sick. Okay. That's hard. That's a cold name. Shout out Robert Fripp. I think this song is really cool.
So it's a song.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the songs of all time. It really, as I said earlier, it adds another layer to the album, using its more slower and building feeling. It's like a purgatory for the album. It's like that little midpoint where everyone just can take a little relaxing break while having some good tunes in the background. Not like the other relaxing break that we're about to talk about.
But just because it's slower doesn't mean that it's boring. This one actually sounds like, you know, it's got like orchestral kind of stuff in there. Sounds like riding off into the wind in the desert and stuff like that.
Sounds like your wife just took your wallet and now
What?
You're chasing her. Oh, what? Sorry. Moonchild, what the is there to say about this goddamn song? It's a 12-minute nap time. Bold and zesty pretzels made my lesty bestie is inside. Now you might be asking yourself, what the heck did I just say? And the thing is that I'm pretty sure this guy's gonna show the clip in a second, but while we were listening to like the halfway point of this song, like we just started talking about the pretzels that that Finn was eating. You just don't understand it unless you're on 50 milligrams
While
of
I'm
LSD.
here, I'm going to start eating some Bold and Zesty pretzels. Yeah, I mean, they're not the best they could be.
And then, like, halfway through a review, we hear the music start playing again. It's like, oh,
I'm like,
shit.
oh,
I
yeah.
forgot what we were doing it.
King Crimson, sorry. Because we didn't have anything else to review because this song doesn't really have anything aside from the start. It's like slow, but not in a good way. Like I Talk to the Wind. It's just like nothing. There's no like groove or anything. It's just like they kind of threw their instruments on the ground and let it play whatever noise they wanted, which I guess is really art rock and experimental.
But it's not good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
It sounds like when you're at the family gathering and your uncle's having a stroke, and everyone like notices and everyone's seeing it, but they're like they don't really like that guy, so they try to pretend like nothing's happening. It sounds like that, you know. It's the soundtrack. It sounds like the soundtrack to JFK Reloaded. What do you want me to say?
It's like elevator music, but bad.
It's so painful. It was unfaithful in our marriage. This song was unfaithful in our marriage. All right.
I gotta go pee for a second.
All right. Make sure you close the door on the way out.
I'll try.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Listen to that new Jorfat album.
Bro, what are you doing? In the Court of the Crimson King. Bro, shout out to In Court of the Crimson King. On In Court of the Crimson King by
It
King
was
Crimson.
not unfaithful in our marriage.
Bro, this song is the best husband of all time. Like, oh my god.
Like, it feels like when you finally get to that good part of a meal after having to deal with that jerk shit disabled cousin known as Jeremy. Fuck you, Jeremy.
It kind of sounds like getting out to the top of the mountain. Like if you've ever seen The Hobbit, which this album is actually kind of inspired by. I read. Are you good? You okay, man? You want to take a break? This song is like a post-torture victory music after listening to the
brain rot
the
that was Moonchild.
the slog fest that was Moonchild. But yeah, the album as a whole is, I mean, it's really good. I mean,
really
it's a
good.
classic album.
It's a classic album.
It's not regarded for no reason.
And to be serious for like 2 seconds, 1, 2, this album has so many revolutionary details to it. It's not weird for no dumb reason, except Moonchild. Moonchild needs to be taken to court for wasting my time. I personally think that this album inspired a lot of future prog rock bands that would come, you know, in the future. So obviously it holds a reputation, and it keeps that reputation for being able to stand the test of time. But unfortunately, it's just not a perfect album.
Yeah.
No matter what those old white dudes at your local bar tell you, it's not perfect, because Moonchild.
But not every album is going to be perfect, especially when it's 55 years old. But, I mean, hey, it's a damn good album. Like, for 54, like...
Damn good. And for, like, for the first really premiere release of King Crimson,
Yeah.
that's a great album.
Yeah, it's their debut album.
They really showed out. They came in with everything to prove and nothing to lose, and they really showed for it. And that really shows how timeless this band is. Unfortunately, what's not timeless is Moonchild, and I really hope that I'm trying to nail this in. Moonchild is terrible. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, but it holds this meaning, or it means this, or it was done because of this. I don't give a shit. This song is terrible. It reminded me of 2 months ago. Nothing happened 2 months ago, but it's terrible. I didn't like it.
And all of that is to say is that this album is a 4 out of 10.
Four
This album is terrible.
I hate this album.
This is worse than that one time
that one time.
the Beatles tried to make a breaking up album.
It was worse than that one time Yoko Ono tried to sing. It's terrible.
Genuinely, this album is like not amazing, but it has a lot of
No,
amazing
it is
songs.
amazing. What are you talking about? It's amazing.
I don't think as a whole it's amazing.
I say it's amazing. But this album is great, especially for a debut. So we're gonna have to give it a solid 8.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Make sure to like and subscribe for more content just like this in the future. Know what I'm saying? If we get 20 likes, I'll permanently kidnap this child and keep him in the attic so we can make more videos.
No,
just like this
wait,
one.
No, wait, I didn't agree to
No,
this.
you agreed to
No,
this.
I didn't
You
agree
signed
to-
the contract.
No, wait, I can't read, you know that. How's that shit?